Hi everyone, it's Heather and I am here in Ireland. I just spent a fantastic few days over in Dublin, but I feel like to really get a feel for this beautiful country, we have to get out away from the city and go see what else there is. So I just picked up a rental car. You can take a train across the country, or I hire private drivers for a lot of my clients, but I love having a car so I can stop off at anything that seems wonderful. We're gonna head out west. We're gonna go to Galway, the Aran Islands, the Ring of Kerry, Killarney, and I'm just gonna show you all of the amazing things there are to see and do in this country. So let's go. My first stop is only an hour outside of Dublin. I'm in the town of Kilbeggan to visit the Kilbeggan Distillery. This is actually the oldest distillery in all of Ireland. And you can come here and do a tour and whiskey tasting, but I'm doing something a little bit different and I'm really excited. I'm actually gonna be doing an Irish coffee experience. So I'm taking a class to learn how to make the perfect Irish coffee. I'm heading west, making my way towards Galway, and on the way I stopped at Clonmacnoise, which are the ruins of a monastery that was built in 548 AD. As an American, cannot wrap my brain around something that old, but it's gorgeous ruins. In its heyday, it was known as a place of learning, education. Lots of manuscripts were transcribed here. Now it's just really peaceful to walk around. Little Irish rain is coming in. They have some really famous Celtic crosses, probably some of the best preserved. So if you're in the area, it's worth stopping in for 20 minutes. I just arrived in Galway, checked into my hotel, and immediately came back out because I had booked a private foodie tour with Galway Food Tours. They're kind of like the best of the best in Ireland. They're known for their walking tours. So far we've had a local coffee, this really amazing chocolate shop, and now we're gonna do a cheese and whiskey tasting. So if you're in Galway, I cannot recommend that enough. This morning, I'm at the Connemara Airport, which is about 40 minutes south of Galway, and I am about to take a full day tour of the Aran Islands. I actually booked myself a private tour over to Inisheer, so I'm going to board my own little private plane, get over there and take a full tour of the island, but then also stop in the local craft center, learn one of the local crafts they do on the island and see how good I might be at it. And then we're also going to stop in a pub for some lunch, do a craft beer tasting, and then we have a private session with some local musicians. And you're gonna hear me a lot on this video saying I booked a private tour. And the reason I do that is because it gives me the benefit of having a local guide so I can hear what the locals do, learn about the history of the place versus just wandering around on my own, but also not have to be in a single file line in a group of 40. And it also gives me the option to tailor a tour towards what I want. So I can do the things that are of interest to me, or if I'm there and something seems really cool that I didn't know about, we can change the entire tour so that we can stop and see. You can't do that with a larger group. So yes, it's a little bit more money, but I promise it's not bougie. It just gives you a much more personalized experience in Ireland. I'm out in the country today to do the thing I was most excited to do in Ireland. I am at Joyce Country Sheepdog Farm to see Joe Joyce, who is a third generation sheep farmer, and his border collies. It's so incredible. You know, so many people have border collies as pets, but I wanted to see them in action doing what they're bred to do. And so Joe will do a demonstration with his dogs herding sheep all the way up sheer mountains. And it's phenomenal. But beyond that, I got to hold puppies that are only 4 days old and feed baby lambs. And oh my goodness, it was worth the hour drive coming out here. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm so cold. I just did a private tour with the DK Connemara Oyster farm. It's so beautiful here. Look at, that's the ocean. It's not a lake, but it looks like a beautiful lake. It's the bay, all salt water. There are oysters in the nursery behind me, and their main farm is over there. I learned so much about these gorgeous little creatures that everybody likes to eat. I didn't realize how much work went into it, but I can't recommend coming out here enough, because not only are you gonna tour the farm, you also get to shuck and eat your own oysters. I cannot shuck them. I am terrible. Nobody will hire me, but I can eat them like a champ. I just took a guided tour of Kylemore Abbey, and when you're in and around Galway, it's something that you should do. It's so beautiful. It was a private home originally, but now it's a Benedictine abbey, and you can tour the bottom floor and also the gorgeous Victorian gardens and fancy yourself a lady of the 1800s living in this gorgeous manor house. I'm at the Cliffs of Moher, which is the #2 tourist attraction in all of Ireland. #1 is Dublin, so chances are this is gonna be on your list. It's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. You can spend as little as 30 minutes here or the entire day. There are kilometers of walking trails where you can walk and take in the view, but I think the absolute best way to see the cliffs is on the water. So I'm gonna drive 10 minutes up the road to Doolin, hop in a boat, and take in the cliffs from below. My adventure today takes me around the Ring of Kerry, which is honestly one of the most beautiful drives in the entire world. The hype is real, and you do have to do it. And while you can do it on a tour, there are a million giant tour buses here, you're better off doing this one on your own or with a private driver, because you want to be able to stop at everything that looks interesting to you. Behind me is the Derrynane house. There's gorgeous views, there's ocean cliffs, and to spend an entire day and just stop everywhere. Today I'm at Blarney Castle, and I've wanted to come here since I was a kid. I have no idea why, but it's something I've always wanted to do. It is very touristy, but I am a tourist, and so are you, so that shouldn't stop you from coming. I thought there was just a castle here and you go and kiss the stone, but instead there are acres of gardens, and they're so beautiful. There's a poison garden, so I got to learn about all the dangerous plants and how I can kill people with them. There is a bee observatory, which I love because I have my own beehive, but there's all these different fairy gardens and paths, so plan to spend the afternoon here. My pro tip is go early in the morning, get right in line to kiss the stone, because that can take up to an hour if it's really crowded. But then grab a picnic, walk around, enjoy it, especially on a day like today. It's more than just a quick stop. It's beautiful and so worth your time. Let's talk about kissing that stone, because that's why everyone's coming here. Legend has it that if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you will be given the gift of eloquence, or the gift of gab. And if you thought I talked a lot before, forget it, because I've kissed the stone. I will say it is not an experience for those of you that are claustrophobic or that are afraid of heights, because they are tiny, 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 narrow little corridors with super steep spiral stairs, and then you are on the top of the castle. So if you are afraid of those things, just watch from the bottom. You can actually see people from underneath. That being said, there can be over an hour wait, especially if it's a super busy day. So plan on getting here early. I know I was listening to people in line who are here on a guided tour, and they only have a set amount of time for this stop. And a lot of them were worried they weren't going to make it. So if that's you, if you're here on a guided tour, perhaps go right to the castle and don't look at anything else. But if you're like me and you're here on your own, you have hours to take in these beautiful gardens. Kiss the stone first, and then go wander. I'm at the Donkey Sanctuary of Ireland, and be honest, I bet you didn't know this was a thing you could do when you came to Ireland. It's really cool because they have about 1,800 donkeys that were abused and neglected in their care, and they come here to this sanctuary and they're fed and given shelter and like love for the first time ever. And they're so cute. I can't believe anybody would be mean to these creatures. But it's completely free of charge, so if you have little ones traveling with you, this is a fun thing to do. They do ask for donations, and all of your donations go to help feed and take care of the donkeys. They even have an option where you can adopt a donkey, and then you'll get updates on their journey and progress while they're at the sanctuary. So if you're looking for something to do that is off the beaten path, this one's a lot of fun, especially for you animal lovers. Today I'm in the Burren, which is an area of Ireland roughly an hour outside of Galway, near the cliffs of Moher. I don't know how to describe this other than to say you feel like you're walking on a moonscape. The ground is essentially a carpet of rock, and yet in the cracks, all different kinds of plants and flowers have figured out a way to grow, and there's so much biodiversity. It's really remarkable to see. But like the plants, in the middle of nowhere, all of these different kinds of businesses have sprouted up across the region. So you're going to find craft food and wine shops, a smokehouse restaurant that smokes salmon and other fish and meats that's super popular. There are tons of pubs and restaurants, but today I'm visiting the Burren Perfumery, which is this all-natural, organic, perfumery beauty shop that is quite literally in the middle of nowhere. It is so beautiful. You walk up and it's like you're in this gorgeous little garden cottage, and they offer tours of their facilities, or you can just walk around on your own. You're welcome to come into the soap making barn or the perfume shop. They'll happily tell you what they're making and how they're making it. There is of course a store where you can buy all of their products. I loaded up on some hand creams and soaps. They also offer a video that tells you about the area, and then they have this gorgeous little garden cafe with all organic light meals. It is perfect for lunch. Everything was so delicious but so beautiful, all these different colors. And if it is a nice day, it is so perfect to sit out in their garden and enjoy a lemonade and a sandwich. Best day ever. I'm spending the last 2 nights of my trip here at Dromoland Castle. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I've only been here 3 hours and already I've had my breath taken away 1 billion times. And while it is just outside of the Shannon Airport and the cliffs of Moher and the Galway area, I'm choosing to spend my last 2 days here just doing everything there is on property. Everything you could possibly want is here. 3 restaurants, including fine dining. There is a spa, shopping, a full golf course if that's your thing and you want to play. They also have stand-up paddleboarding, fishing, clay pigeon shooting, archery. Basically, if you've ever wanted to pretend you are a royal, you can do it here. But I have 2 surprises for us tomorrow. We're doing activities that were so high up on my list. I'm so excited. I am going to take us on a falconry walk and fly our falcons and meet some owls. And then we are going to go on a jaunting car ride, which is essentially an Irish horse and carriage ride around their grounds. I'm fangirling a little bit. I'm so excited. I can't wait to show you what this castle has to offer. It is a 5-star luxury property. And after you see it, it's just gonna be on your list. Let's go check it out. I'm staying in the McDonough stateroom, which is essentially, I have an entire section of the castle to myself. It's huge. I start down on the 2nd floor, walk up my own staircase into my suite, which has a bedroom, seating area, separate dressing room / office, and then a bathroom. It's gorgeous. I have 2 turrets. I've searched high and low for a secret passage. No secret passage, but I do have my own emergency exit in case I should need it. But on one side, I have views of the castle. Other side, a beautiful Elizabethan courtyard. Oh, talk about luxury. You feel like you're staying in a castle, but there's still modern conveniences with air conditioning, towel warmers, a bathroom twice the size of mine at home. They even have American fitted plugs for you to plug in your appliances, which is so nice. So this way you don't have to worry if you forgot your converter. So it might be worth booking this stateroom when you're looking to stay at Dromoland. Well, my time in Ireland has come to an end. Those 2 weeks flew by. Honestly, it feels like a lifetime ago I started out in Dublin. Thank you so much for following along with me. I don't even know what to pick. What would be my favorite? I think right now it's between the Sheepdogs and the falconry, but taking a jaunting car ride, it's kind of up there. My favorite thing, I think, though, is that I didn't do this on a tour group. I customized the trip towards my likes, and so by doing that, I got to spend a lot more time with local residents. So I met a lot more Irish people who were telling me their stories and their histories, and they're just so charismatic and wonderful. And I think that really is what made the trip, was getting to know all these different people. And now I have so many friends in Ireland, and that's pretty special. And so if you're looking for a trip like this, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to work with you to customize your own Irish dream vacation. And it doesn't have to look like mine. That's the point, is that I missed so many places that might be on your bucket list. So maybe leave a comment and let me know what it is that you've always wanted to do in Ireland. Thank you again for watching. I'm Heather, and please share this video with your friends, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Bye.